All right, so with that, I'd like to go ahead and call this public hearing to order and ask everyone to stand and where you are anyway, and join us in the pledge with our virtual flag on the screen there. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of
of the
the
United
United
States
States
of America,
and to the republic
and to the
for which it
republic
stands,
stands
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty,
liberty, justice for all.
All right, I will make a motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda as stated. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Fishman, I believe. Any discussion?
Not that it matters.
What? Any discussion? All right, being none, roll call vote. Mr. Martin is a yes. Mrs. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Loyer?
You might have to look at his video, Andy. I don't think he had audio yet.
All right, hold on. Let me get,
He's saying yes.
all right, Mr. Loyer is a virtual yes. Mrs. Nickerson? Mrs. Nickerson, you there?
Can't be muted. She's unmuted now. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Mrs. Sundit?
Yes.
Mrs. Wood?
Yes.
And I don't believe, unless he's joined, Mr. Hoyt is not here yet. Nope, okay. All right, so with that, it's approved, and we will now turn it over for the public hearing portion. Tom, who am I turning it over to?
Maureen.
All right, Maureen, it's all you.
Hello, me. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Central Square, Central School District's public hearing. I'm going to start with the timeline. If you can go to the first page. We're getting closer to the June 9th vote and election by absentee ballot. On June 3rd, we do have our budget notice being mailed out. This time we couldn't make the full newsletter that we normally do, so we're doing the budget notice as a postcard with a couple of quick budget facts on it. The property tax report card has been submitted, and we are doing our required public hearing right now. Move forward. New York State has a lot of requirements of us during this budget process. We must present our budget to the district voters every year. Generally, it's voted on the third Tuesday in May. Obviously, this year with the COVID-19 and the school closures, that's been totally thrown into the wind, and it's going to be done by absentee ballot on June 9th. We must prepare it in 3 budget categories: program and admin and capital. We must have the public hearing that we're doing right now. We also must fill our vacant Board of Ed seats. We have to do the real property tax law requirements. We have to post copies of the budget and all the other articles on our website. And generally, you have to make them available in all your school buildings and at the public libraries. Obviously, this year we've got it on the webpage that just call us if you want copies of anything. The budget notice that's going to be mailed out in the next couple of days has to have the contingency budget amounts, the assumptions that we're using, and be mailed by June 3rd. Go ahead. This is what that budget notice looks like. It's a form that's given to us and what codes and what parts of the budget to put in there. And it's not actually all that easy to read for a general person. So that's why we kind of go through this public hearing and kind of vet it out a little bit for people to understand better. But that's the card that's going to be mailed out next week. It includes the revenues. We're proposing for the 2021 year $81.3 million budget. It's made up of 57% state aid, 37% tax levy, and some fund balance and some other revenue categories. Dollar increase wise, it's a $1,212,303 increase. That comes to about 1.51% increase in the budget. The expenditures, it's a budget, so the revenues and expenditures balance at this point. They come to the same amount. The salaries and benefits make up almost 75% of the budget, as we know and always deal with. And all districts are built that way. The salaries is going down slightly because we know that our state aid is less than it was last year. And therefore, we've made some reductions, which we'll go through later on. Fringe benefits are always the hard area for us. Health insurance and pension, TRS, ERS, always increase no matter what's going on, and we don't have any control over those categories. The BOE services has a very small increase. We are eliminating a few of those softwares and programs. Our debt service is standard, and it really isn't changing much next year. And the same with all of our other categories. Our utilities and fuel, we're projecting to go down a little bit because we actually have sold the buildings and they've come offline. This is the same set of expenditures, the total expenditures, the 81,325,857. It's just in a different required category. The program expenses are the bulk of that. It's almost $61 million. Includes all the K-12 instruction and the transportation that goes with that. The administrative expenditures make up about 10% of the budget. It's just a touch over 8 million. And the capital expenditures, which is the debt service and all the operations and maintenance, is just over, it's about 12.3 million. The biggest dollar change is in the instructional and the transportation areas. That makes up the bulk of the increase in the budget. That being said, even though the salaries went down, these numbers include the associated fringe benefits. It's that fringe benefit is going all the way through these expense categories. This is just another way to look at it. I like this. It's still the required program capital and administrative expenditures, but it gives you a clearer picture of how it's broken out. 75% program, 15% capital, 10% administrative fees. And this is basically, these percentages are common among most school districts. I pulled this out of Forecast 5. This is the expenditure per pupil number. Central Square is the second line, and this shows all of the schools in our county. We're very competitive when it comes to the amount spent per pupil. This budget includes some reductions in positions and programs. At the high school, there are 7 positions. They're listed there for you. We went through these over the last couple of budget presentations. There's 2 positions at the middle school. At the elementary, there are 4 or 5 positions. At the district office, there's 3 positions, the psych interns, and the SysOp, which is a stipend added extra. And these are some other programs and softwares that we are going to eliminate for next year. On the Forecast 5, the STAR, the Navigate Prepared are all on BOCES program, or they're all purchased through BOCES. We're also going to lower the public relations service that we buy through BOCES. And we are taking the equipment repair and the data person, we're backing them off a day and some days in the calendar year. In the athletic department, there's 3 modified sports that have second teams. We are going to take those out. And same with the JV sports. There are 3 teams there that are second and third teams, which are going to be taken out for next year. On the music department, the parade band, obviously, and the summer chorus and music band. That would have happened anyways, I believe. Nothing's happening this summer with the COVID issues. There's no in-school summer school this for the summer, so nothing is going to be opening back up. This also is our enrollment trends out of Forecast 5. It utilizes the live birth rates to give us some projections. And I want to say we can pick different percentages, and we go high and say even if 95% of every child that's been born in our district were to come to the district, we still are looking at declining enrollments. This budget includes a 3.79% tax levy increase. You can go ahead, Tom. The levy is the total revenue figure. So when we establish a number, it's going to be the total that we can collect. The tax rate is made up of 3 factors. There's the assessed property value, the equalization rate, and the levy. The school district only has control of the levy. The assessments come from the town assessors, and the equalization rates come from the real property tax services. So even though the 3 factors go into the tax rate, we're only dealing with the one piece of that pie. What this 3.79% increase looks like on a $100,000 home, assuming that the town assessments and the equalization rates were to stay unchanged, and that won't happen, it's 72 cents per thousand. So it's a $72 increase on a $100,000 home. I pulled these out from the past 4 presentations just to show that on the left side, during the public hearing, these were the estimated tax rates based on the levy that we were putting out, but no changes in assessment and equalization rates. If you go over to the right side, these are the actual rates that happened when we established and put our levy out on the tax rolls. After the assessments came in and the equalization rates came in, the actual tax rates are much less than what we are able to project at this point because we don't know the other 2 pieces of the pie. And it shows, I kind of hate to say it, but it shows that the property tax limit calculation actually works. Because if you look at the 4 years that are there really hasn't been much change in the tax rate at all. It's actually the same as it was 4 years ago. And basically what that formula does, it's supposed to allow for assessments and equalization rates. And as you can see, it actually is working. So when we go to put our levy at the levy limit, we should be pretty close to what the actual rate is once we get into August. This is another chart from Forecast 5 on the tax levies. Again, Central Square is the second bar. So as you can see, we're on the lower side of the tax rates across the county. On the ballots this year that are going to be mailed to the registered voters, we have our proposition, which we're going over tonight. It's a budget for 2021, $81,325,857. And there's going to be a second proposition for our transportation. It's 11 vehicles. There are 7 big buses, 3 small buses, and 1 wheelchair bus. Also on the voting ballot will be the 3 candidates. They're both running for 3 seats. Yeah, both. All 3 are running for the 3 seats that are open, and they are the incumbents, Christy Fishman, Mike Lawyer, and Stephen Patch. Tom, did you want to go over the did you know good news pieces?
Sure. Can you scroll up? I put this out to all staff, and I put it out, I believe the board gets when I put CSSD all, and I put it out to parents. So I actually spoke with someone at Section 3. They were very impressed with Central Square and how many actual teams qualified. To be able to be a scholar athlete team, 75% of the team has to have a 90 average or above. So as you can see right here, I don't have to read the screen to you, but we had boys cross country, boys soccer, boys volleyball, competitive cheerleading, girls cross country, girls soccer, girls tennis, girls volleyball, and gymnastics. And that was in the fall. In the fall, we generally have more sports for people to be able to participate in than the winter, like obviously most districts do. In the winter, we had boys basketball, boys indoor track and field, girls basketball, girls bowling, girls indoor track and field, and rifle. Rifle always seems to have, if you probably broke it down, it's probably about a 96 GPA average among that rifle team, steady through. That and DECA always have high GPAs. But that's very impressive right there. And then the number of students, we had 106 in the fall and 68 in the winter. And again, when we have the statistics, and we still do, from Five Lab, it just showed how the discrepancy between students that are participating in a sport, club or activity, and then those that aren't. And the grade point average was substantially different. Also was their attendance and behavior referrals. As you can see, starting at the bottom, varsity winter guard placed first out of 10 competing at WGI South Brunswick competition. Any board member can correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the first time that our winter guard was invited up into the open class. Am I saying that correctly? Which was quite a remarkable accomplishment. Again, that's just years of work and program. Winter percussion, again, they continue to shine. And it's kind of ironic because right before we had the closure, we had the home show, and it was packed, and everybody was just so impressed. Again, our fine arts program is fantastic. You can go up. Other notable achievements, Claire Ames and Joy Fumano performed at the New York State Band Directors Association Senior High School's Honor Band and earned them a seat in the State Honor Band based on their performance at NYSSMA Solo Festival. Cole Mulhauser was the Section 3 champion and received the Most Outstanding Wrestler Award. Peyton Ruprecht also was Section 3 champion. Both headed to the state tournament in Albany. Again, phenomenal wrestling program. We had the girls basketball did their fundraiser again, another $14,000. And if you were there, again, there wasn't a dry eye in the audience. Just very impressive with what these athletes do on the court, but also through fundraising. And then, as we just said, students are clearly more engaged to their school community if they're involved in a sport or a club or a music band and whatnot. We have 1,210 students in the middle school and the high school that participate on a sports team and or a band music ensemble group. And that represents a total of the 2,000 students in the middle school and high school. Participation rate is huge. And again, this plays into the fact that, you know, what is happening with our state aid. That's why it is so difficult right now for superintendents and school districts, because we want to be able to still put out the same quality extracurricular programs. And so we're hoping that the governor doesn't hit that too hard. And your vote counts June 9, 2020. All the ballots must be received by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, June 9, 2020. I have to say that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Questions?
Any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I do have comment.
Laura, let me say something real quick first. So we have continued Chiefs meetings. And so right now across the state, there's a committee of superintendents and other people on what a reopening plan in September could look like. And in any one of those ideas that we're seeing, it's going to be a significant increased cost to school districts. I don't want to be rude, but again, it's another unfunded mandate. however they work that out, and whether if it becomes an AM and then a PM group for middle school, high school, elementary, it's going to be more bus runs. It's going to be more cleaning. It's going to be, sanitizing. So again, they're not saying, oh, but we're going to give you this cost to be able to offset that. So again, that goes into, our tax levy and to, we're hoping, what's left in state aid. That's all.
Mrs. Wood, you said you had a comment?
Yeah, I just want to thank Tom for his leadership during all of this with the administration, all of the hard work that they have done with the teachers, all of their working with their students. I know my daughter does an afternoon session, a morning session, afternoon Zoom sessions, and she's busy all the time. Our district personnel has really stepped up and made great gifts for our families between food service and everything. And I really feel that it's a good time for us to reflect on all the great things that have happened during this terrible time. And that's all I want to say. Thanks again.
Yep.
Thanks, Lori.
Thanks, Mrs. Wood. Any other comments or questions?
Mr. Loya is trying to speak, but he's not sure if we can hear him.
We cannot.
So I suggested he use the chat box at the bottom.
And I'm waiting. I don't see any chat yet.
Can you hear him, Connie?
No.
No,
Want me to call him?
I'll
No.
check. Maybe it'll pop up.
Oh, he just sent something.
Did he?
Move
He
on.
said move on.
Okay.
Move on. All right. If there are no other comments and questions, then first I'll remind everyone that we do have a meeting. Pearl, keep me honest, but it's Monday, right? The first?
It is Monday at 6:30.
Yep, Monday, 6:30. Same exciting virtual location. And with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:55. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Loya. I got the thumbs up first. Any discussion? All right, roll call vote. Mr. Martin is a yes. Mrs. Fishman?
Yes.
Mr. Loya? Good to go. Mrs. Nickerson?
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mrs. Sunday? Can't. Give me a thumbs up, Sunday. I couldn't hear you. Thumbs up
Yep.
it is. And Mrs. Wood.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for attending, and we will see you on Monday if we don't talk to you before then. Stay well, all. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Namaste.